James Orengo, one of Kenya's most battle-hardened politicians, a constitutional lawyer and a veteran of multi-party struggles, and the governor of Siaya, the very heartland of Odinga's political power. But on the weekend of March 7th and 8th, 2026, Orengo found himself in the middle of confrontation that goes far beyond faction. It was about state power, political turf, and who controls the narrative in the Nyanza region heading to 2027. On Saturday evening, March 7th, 2026, Siaya Governor James Orengo went public with a serious accusation against the police. He stated that several members of his staff had been arrested and detained, some in Siaya and others in Nairobi, in a direct connection with President William Ruto's planned visit to the county today. Orengo described the arrest as arbitrary and unconstitutional, demanding the immediate release of those held. He insisted that such conduct had no place in a democratic state governed by a constitution that guarantees individual rights and due process. President William Ruto, scheduled to attend the Thanksgiving ceremony for Medical Services Principal Secretary Dr. Ouma Olunga at Okela Primary School in Uyoma, Siaya County on Sunday, today that is March 8th. The visit had generated intense political mobilization across the region, with Energy Cabinet Secretary Opiyo Wandayi, former Rarieda MP Nicholas Gumbo, and leaders allied to ODM party leader Oburu Oginga rallied residents to turn out in large numbers to welcome the president. The mobilization effort underscores how deeply political the event had become, happening squarely in Orengo's backyard, while his relationship with both Ruto and Oburu camp remain strained. The arrest of Orengo's staff did not happen in a vacuum. Siaya County had already become the center theater of the ODM factional war, with the Linda Ground rally held barely 400 meters from Orengo's office in Siaya town, a calculated gesture widely read as a direct challenge to the governor's political authority in his own county. The January meeting at State Lodge between President Ruto and Siaya County members of Parliament or members of County Assembly was attended by 41 of the county's 42 MCAs, with Orengo conspicuously absent, and detail that drew wide attention given his public resistance to any reapproachment between ODM and the Kenya Kwanza administration. Orengo had spent the days leading up to Ruto's delivering some of its sharpest political statements, yet speaking on Spice FM on 5th March, he warned that ODM had lost its souls and described President Ruto as operating like a dictator, warning that Kenya's constitution remained the last line of defense against authoritarian rule. He made it clear that the ODM he helped build was being systematically dismantled, and he placed the blame directly at the feet of the presidency and those within the party he accused of acting as brokers and opportunists. Marking the first anniversary of the political agreement signed between the late Raila Odinga and President Ruto, Orengo issued a statement declaring that day had transformed from a moment of celebration into one of the betrayal and rage. He warned that ODM was being weakened from within and alleged that a section of party leaders was actively working to have ODM absorbed into UDA ahead of the 2027 general election. He described this process as already well advanced and framed those driving it as a faction against or acting against the will of the party's founding membership and grassroots base. Orengo had earlier in February 12 press conference directly accused President Ruto of being the root cause of the turmoil inside ODM, alleging that a key consultation ahead of the next meeting that removed Edwin Sifuna as the Secretary General were held at State House rather than within the party structures. He stated that he had warned the president as far back as shortly after his election not to interfere in or weaken political parties, saying he could see the current crisis coming. Despite his sharp anti-government posture, Orengo had also been compelled to defend a separate State House meeting he attended in November 2025 alongside the county official and members of county assembly. He explained that the visit was guided by constitutional responsibility and the need to serve Siaya residents, not by any shift in political alignment, and that elected leaders must sometimes balance party loyalty with the legal duty to the people who chose them. Though all these competing pressure, Orengo maintained a consistent position. He and the Linda Mwananchi camp would remain inside ODM and fight from within, not retreat to form a new party. While President Ruto and leaders from the Linda Ground faction gathered in Uyoma on Sunday, March 8th, Orengo and the Linda Mwananchi team were on their way to Kaiti constituency in Makueni County for their own political engagement.